Hey tubers, I only make car repair videos when I have car problems, so let's see what's going on today. Well, look at this. Normally my motor is clean as a bone, but I've got all these white dots. And I was just lucky I found this. I think I caught it early. The fluid bottle's empty. The radiator was half full. And so I refilled everything up, cleaned it, ran around, and it's looking like right in here there's some kind of pinhole crack in this plastic radiator. It's the original Toyota bad boy radiator, so plastic tops, it's just failed from age. Okay, what it looks like it's going to take is I got a new radiator on order. Man, I watched a video and they said, you know, pull this off, loosen this, get it all flipped out of the way, but who knows? I can reach all the bolts and shit, so maybe I should just try popping it loose. You know, undo your hoses and then just pop it loose and see how it goes. The fan shroud is going to be something that's got to get separated back, but the radiator, I think, will just come right out. Okay. That's what I got to do. So, oh, the one other thing it looks like with this job that you've got to take care of is underneath the truck here, the skid plate. I don't know how well it's focusing on that. Anyways, the skid plate has got to be removed here from under the truck. So that way you can get to the bottom half of all those hoses and radiator stuff. And see, you can see here if you look. Let me step back. Can you see the water stain right here in the middle of the radiator? That's from the stuff up above. All right, well, that's the job, and I'll be doing it first chance or a little bit at a time. All right, what you're looking at is I just drained the radiator. All you got to do is just turn that little plug. And before you could get to this nice view of the bottom, you've got to take off the skid plate. Man, I wonder what the hell dented my skid plate. I can tell you that much. It had to have been something stout. You know, I think they left out a couple of bolts on me. Comes down, bolts there and there. I guess those are just extra holes. Probably if you got some kind of rack or something that goes. Anyways, draining the radiator, catching the fluid to properly dispose, and this is going to be a real breeze. I'm not going to do the video I watched. Said that you needed to take off all this air intake shit, loosen this hose up. You know, there's a little bit of play. I might loosen the clamp here, but I'm going to start by just taking off the fan shroud, and then I'm going to disconnect all the hoses and, you know, get this bad boy out. But as you can see, it's real simple. There's just a couple bolts right in here. Hey, if anybody who watches this video knows, why does Toyota like the red shit instead of the green stuff like everybody else has for antifreeze? And I got a little bit of valve cover leak stuff going on here, but I think that's just loose. I'm going to try to tighten them up right now. Hey tubers, this repair job is really simple. I mean, I've already got the radiator out and I didn't even have a chance to film. There's 4 bolts holding on the fan shroud, and they're on the engine side. And then you got 4 bolts that hold the radiator. They're on the outside. You disconnect all your hoses top and bottom, and the damn thing lifts right out. And it was just that simple. Okay, I've got a new one, and I'm just going to drop it back in. Yeah, this is a real no-brainer. I mean, it's harder to change the brakes than it is to do this, it seems. At least on a Tundra. Tubers. Job's done. This was really simple. The only thing I really want to talk about, okay, and I'll show you with the camera. The radiator repair was very basic. There's 4 bolts for the radiator. And then inside here, carefully, I'm sorry, the camera view there, there's 4 bolts that hold a fan shroud on. Okay? And that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, there's the hoses for the radiator, but there's also the hoses for the transmission. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Because after you've done this job, you're going to puke out some transmission fluid. The radiator, hell, any idiot knows you just refill it, use the bottle, you're good. Had to look up in the book how to find out the transmission tested. Park it on level ground. You want it to be warmed up. Drive the car about 15-20 minutes. The truck is supposed to be running and warmed up. All the way in the back, automatic transmission thing. I've already checked the level, so I know what's going on here. But what you've got is, hold it the right way. These are the cold marks, these 2, and you got 2 for the hot mark. Okay? And whether you check it hot or cold, the engine's got to be running, and you got to go through the gears. So I suggest just go right to the hot, run it around. I know mine's a little low because I've already been driving and checked this, so I'm going to shut it off and add a little bit because I puked out about a quart. Now they tell you to check it while it's running. That sounds fine, but I do not recommend trying to put fluid in. I use a little tiny funnel. And this is the crap that AutoZone told me to use. Now, according to the book, it doesn't take but a pint to go from the low to the high mark. And so I don't want to overshoot anything, so I'm just over the next couple days going to kind of inch it up to the correct spot. I've already put in about, I don't know, half a quart. And like I said, I'll just keep topping it up. And so that's that. Thing about these dipsticks though, they only go in one friggin' way. Because of the twists and turns, it will only take and thread down to the bottom one way. And when you check, make sure you push it all the way in so that it actually clicks. I'm just checking, I clean the motor to see if there's any leaks or anything. Because that's always the last part of the job, check for leaks. This is, I made my drive. The change was real simple. All my other fluids look in the acceptable level. Man, I bet you I'm getting due for a brake job because that's hitting halfway. Yeah, everything here looks bone dry. I don't see any leaks or any problems. Somehow or another from the radiator stuff, this plastic cowling got spotted. And again, another job well done. I'm going to post this one. Like I said, the only thing that I would recommend, I mean, it's 8 bolts, 4 hoses. Top and bottom radiator, and the 2 on the bottom skinny ones are for the automatic transmission. It really is too simple. People make a lot of good videos, so you'll be able to see, you know, somebody else's video in much more detail. I just want to remind you that after you're done, it's the automatic transmission that you're going to be fooling with a little bit.